This story begins at the Pentagon, where Luis Elizondo ran a small team investigating UAP, primarily those reported by the military. Elizondo and his team at the US Department of Defense came up with what they called the 5 observables, or 5 UFO traits that they had characterized. For example, many of these UAP displayed supersonic speed and had no wings or rotors. What's fascinating about Elizondo's 5 UFO traits is that the Utah UAP meets 4 of them. In fact, it's very well possible that the Utah UAP displays all 5 of these traits. The 5th is just impossible to measure given the exact circumstances. But without any further ado, let me walk you through each of the Pentagon's 5 observables so that you can decide if the Utah UAP displays similar characteristics. The first observable is anti-gravity lift, which means these aircraft have no visible means of propulsion. That means no flight surfaces, no rotors, no wings. If you recall the Nimitz encounters, the UAP were reportedly described as giant Tic Tacs. One of the single strangest things about the Utah UAP is that it has no wings, it has no rotors, it has no visible means of propulsion. It has no flight surfaces, it leaves no trail. I don't know how it flies, but I'd certainly love to fly one. The second observable is sudden and instantaneous acceleration. So according to the Pentagon, a lot of these UAP would accelerate so quickly that they would have crushed a human body.
Oh my gosh, dude. Wow, look at that fly!
No human crew could have survived those G-forces. In fact, it's actually not the speed that kills you, it's the stopping. It's the sudden stopping and the sudden acceleration. If it weren't perplexing enough that the Utah UAP doesn't have any wings, what makes the video most remarkable to most is that it seemingly accelerates from anywhere from 2 to 3.5 miles away in 1 second, passing through frame, traveling potentially 12,000 miles per hour, which is faster than any other human-powered aircraft that we know about. And this thing managed to bank a crazy turn while traveling at those high speeds. The third observable is hypersonic velocities without signatures. And this one gave me the chills because I think it most accurately overlaps with the Utah UAP. So according to the Pentagon, anytime an aircraft that we know about travels faster than the speed of sound, it's going to leave a signature. It's going to leave a vapor trail, it's going to leave a sonic boom. But what's bizarre about a lot of the UAP that the Pentagon studied was that they left no such signature. There weren't sonic booms. And so many commenters on the Utah UAP video asked, well, if this thing's traveling 12,000 miles per hour, where's the sonic boom? Well, it just so happens that many UAP apparently leave no signature at all, which is actually completely consistent with the Utah UAP. The fourth is low observability or cloaking, which again is creepily similar to what we saw in Utah. According to the Pentagon, these UAP evade radar, they evade pilots by traveling so quickly, they're hard to spot and hard to get a detailed view of, they have a hazy glow around them, and so the UAP tend to be tricky to track both on radar and by the human eye. And what's crazy about the Utah UAP is that Sam and Jimmy, when they were flying their drone around in Beaver, they didn't even hear anything, they didn't see anything, they didn't know anything flew by. They only saw the UAP in the video when they were playing back the drone footage. So the Utah UAP couldn't have been less observable. It couldn't have cloaked better. It couldn't have fit this fourth observable any more perfectly. And so the fifth and final observable is transmedium travel. And like I said, this is the only one we can't say for sure whether or not it's consistent with the Utah UAP. According to the Pentagon, many of these UAP could transfer through different environments like water and air with seemingly little to no resistance. For example, they could fly straight through the water and not even slow down and then come out the other end and be in 2 pieces. Again, going back to the Nimitz encounter, the Tic Tac UFO appeared to either be going in the water or interacting with another craft potentially that was under the water. And they definitely show sort of a supernatural ability to interact with different environments like water, air, potentially the Earth's atmosphere. And it's very possible that the Utah UAP would have been able to interact with water in exactly this way, but unfortunately due to the limits of videography, we only caught it for about a second. But it would have been cool for sure to be able to follow this thing and see where it went next, to see if it did potentially ever go in the water, and of course to find out where its home base is. Thanks for watching, guys, and if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up so we know we're on the right track. We appreciate all of your comments and all of your interest in this video. We're going to continue to try to get to the bottom of what this is all about.